segregated society. You gonna make it out? The rich is getting richer. Are you gonna make it out? The poor is getting worse.
Hey yo, what's going on? What's going on, my peeps? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's safe and sound, healthy above every single thing. Welcome to the People's Podcast. This is a podcast for the peeps, by the peeps, with the peeps. So now, right here we are with my guy, Rice Crispy. You heard a lot of you know him. A lot of you might not know him, and if you don't, just pull up to his channel. He be putting in work. He do audits over in Florida. Where at?
In Georgia, Alabama, and California. Travel from sea to shining sea, baby.
you be all over, huh?
Yeah, but I'm in Gainesville, Florida. That's where I am, northern central Florida. But I did my first audits where I grew up in Miami. I went back down there and I pictured what was going to happen for 20 years. You know?
Oh, yeah?
It was an audit 20 years in the making.
When did you start doing audits?
In 2019. In June of 2019. So before George Floyd, before all the protests and the riots in the streets, we already saw the pattern. Miami. Back in the day when I didn't know my rights, I tried to put in a complaint on a cop who pushed my face in the counter of a bathroom in a club one day. And I was like, hey, you can't do that and get away with it. But they were like,
Did you know about audits
I
that
didn't know
day?
anything about that. That was 20 years ago. You know, I didn't know anything.
2013, around 2013, 2012.
No, more than 20 years ago. Around, like, in the 90s.
In
right?
the 90s?
Yeah, in the 90s.
So what would you, there was flip phones, I think, right?
Right, I didn't have anything. I just went to the police station and tried to get a complaint form. And they told me that if I tried to put a complaint, that it could be a felony if they found anything wrong with it. And they intimidated out of me.
Hold up, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you actually went to make a complaint?
Right.
How did you know about that?
There was something that they did wrong, and I figured somebody has to hear about this. So I went, and they pushed me out of there.
That was in Miami?
Yeah. So 20 years later, now that I know my rights, I went back, and I pictured how it could go, you know? And I went, and everything happened like I thought it was going to happen, and they gave me my complaint form at the end. They had to get a commander to come down, and everybody got educated. And a couple audits afterwards, other channels have gone there, and Mancito. They give you a complaint form right away.
So
now.
how did you heard about audits, about the community, about this? How did you?
My friend sent me a video one day, and I started watching them. It was a High Desert Community Watch video. I started watching that, and I was like, oh my God. And I felt like the dude in the movie Malcolm X. I've never seen a brother talk to a man like that.
So you felt identified. It's like, wow, it's like something new for you.
Yeah, God put it in my heart. I got to do this. I got to go out there.
And then that was after you actually being a victim of brutality, of their abuse.
Right.
And then you saw the video, and what happened next?
I saw that video and 100 other videos for the next few months. And then I saw Rogue Nation.
Shout out to Rogue Nation.
Shout out to Rogue Nation.
Shout out to San Joaquin as well.
San Joaquin.
So you saw Rogue Nation.
Yeah, he went to a youth detention center, and he asked them two simple questions. How many kids and how many beds are there here? And they sent him away, and they trespassed him. They didn't want to answer. And that's kids that they have locked up. So that hit my heart. I was like, oh, my God. We lead the world in prisoners. 1 in 4 people locked in a cage are here in the land of the free. And a lot of them are kids. And people think that that's what you can do to correct the behavior when they're young.
That's one thing to highlight, my peeps. There's a lot of abuse because it's teenagers, kids growing up, not knowing where they are, what they're doing, and then we just focus on people that go to jail like adults. But keep in mind, we have kids in those prisons, in those jails, in those youth juvenile detention center, and then imagine those childs facing one of these tyrants in there who just came to work and had a problem with his wife at home, so he's mad. So imagine how they are treated. So we need people to keep an eye on them kids as well. Not everybody does it, Not everybody goes to youth centers and keeps an eye on them. Sometimes even the parents get like uncomfortable or mad because they taking the police side, thinking, oh, my kid is not behaving, so they'll just turn their back and probably leave them there. So, but then that's when we come in. That's when we need people, auditors, to go over there and make sure we put some transparency and let the world know how they're dealing with the kids.
When you don't look to see what's happening, you get the Dozier School for Boys. That's a place in northern Florida that opened up in 1900, and they closed in 2011. But for the last 40 years, they were beating, doing horrible things, and murdering young
Wow.
kids. They found 80-something graves of kids that people forgot about, that didn't have visitors or family or anything.
So what you hold on? So they was like burying
Yes.
in the
And
place.
in 2019, when I started, they found 20 more something graves. So over 100.
But not at a graveyard.
No, outside of this Dozier School for Boys that was closed in 2011. So
Wow.
that's what happens when you don't look.
You hear that? Wow.
And it's nothing in the past. This still happens. There's got to be kids locked up somewhere that don't have family or friends. They came over here crossing the border or something. They're sold. It's human trafficking.
Human
is the
trafficking.
biggest problem in the world.
Modern slavery.
And none of it operates without government involvement. Some corrupt government is allowing it to happen in every country in the world.
It comes from the top. As usual, it comes from the top. It's all the way from the top. So imagine that. Well, me myself, I was in a I started getting arrested when I was like 13. So I know I can identify myself with it because my mother had to like travel a lot. So a lot of times where I would just get arrested for some dumb shit, having a joint or whatever in the streets, I would have nobody to pick me up.
Yeah.
So they'll leave me in the jail for a month or two. I'll see a judge. Since I committed no crime, they'll just take me to a shelter. So I saw that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw a lot of kids without parents, you know, and then they'll have parents who come and it's like shopping, you know, they'll go and, I take this one. So they'll come and like adopt them. I don't know, I can't tell you about a monetary or if it was for free, but we had families who would go and just pick them up, and it's like, you know, human trafficking, bro, human trafficking.
And I'm not trying to say that we're going to catch them doing it, you know, but once we show up and we show them that somebody's watching, they're going to think twice about doing it that day.
Things change.
You know?
Even though if they'll act like they don't care a lot of times, once they see the video, they hear about that we're out there watching, they think about it twice before they.
And what I was saying about Rogue Nation is the ones that need attention are the ones that really go out of the way to not have you there. They trespassed him right away. Like he had I don't know what they thought he was doing there other than getting those two answers. How many kids and how many beds?
They think that they own it. They think that they forget about their public servants.
Yeah.
They forget that they work for the public.
And they're hiding something. If you don't have anything to hide, then
what's the problem?
Do your job correctly and show us.
Yeah, but most of them, you know, they have in mind is just to get a job and get hired, think about the money. They forget about their actual purpose.
Right.
You know, that you're there for us, for the people, you know, so there's nothing for you to hide, my guy. Yeah. You know, so most of the time they forget about that, and then they get caught slacking, you know what I mean? And then they want to be mad at us, you know what I mean?
That's like, what happened.
That's not the right thing to do, man. If you do the right thing, there's nothing for you to hide. You know, as soon as you see a public worker or a government worker trying to hide from the camera, telling you not to record, just treating you like they're above you or something, they're hiding something, you know?
Yeah.
They're hiding something.
Exactly.
But we out here, and it's not going to be forever, so you know what I mean? So that's why we encourage those people that like to record. Do it. Go ahead. Do it. You know, don't think about it. We need you. We need the people.
We got nothing to hide. You know, we're
exactly transparent. We out there every day, every other day, showing you what we do, how we live, and you know what I mean. And police already know. They all know what we do, where we at. They have every information, so we're more transparent than them.
Yeah, I'm on vacation right now, but I had to come see Eli,
the people's guy. Yo, shout out to Rice Krispie for pulling up and
Thank you, brother, for having me.
Exactly.
Hospitality.
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure, and
I can't wait to repay the favor. You come down soon, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up. So I'm gonna be in Miami, my peeps, coming soon. Hopefully the beginning of next year. So I'm gonna link up with everybody over there. So stay tuned there for that.
Yeah, the Florida crew is strong, man. We'll welcome you in open arms, and everywhere you go in Miami or Tampa or Clearwater, or, you know, Jacksonville. We have people that'll go out there with you, you know, keep an eye on you.
Gotcha. Yeah, last time I was there, I don't think I was doing well. I did a couple of videos, but I wasn't like known. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I never like reached out. And by the way, I was doing a delivery. I was doing a furniture delivery over there, so I just took the opportunity to do a couple of videos. But most definitely, next time I pull up, I'm gonna reach out and we're gonna link up and we're gonna do something. You know?
If I can, unfortunately, shout out to your co-host, Good Guy Audits. What
Oh,
he was
that's a
down
fact.
there.
I'm so sorry, Mo. Give me a second. Sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry, Mo. Please, Good Guy Audie and Baby, they couldn't make it. GGA is doing something with his family. If I'm not mistaken, he's upstate, and BB is working. She couldn't make it today. This was like a last minute thing, you know. Rice Krispies, what? Cameras on, we're here, and we even took a tour. So go pull up to his channel because we have content.
Yep.
Yeah, we bumped into a couple of tyrants and
Slipping.
exactly. We got them sleeping, my people. We got the police sleeping. Can you believe that? I had to wake them up. Sleeping. Sleeping. Sleeping, my babes. Sleeping.
Yo, wake the f up, man. What is you doing, man?
What are we paying you for? To sleep? You
What's
gonna
wrong with you,
activate
my
that
G?
body cam? Activate it. There you go.
What's wrong with you, G?
Were you up building a treehouse last night?
Name and badge number. Name and badge number, brother.
Officer Stanford, what's your name?
I didn't give my name, bro.
What's your badge number?
Is it on? Is it on? How you doing, Your Honor? We just found this officer sleeping in the car while he's getting paid without money. So right now, I don't know what's he talking about. He came out the car for what? How can I help you, bro?
Please review any body cam footage and this footage before you make any pretrial motions to suppress it. This guy was sleeping on the job.
You know, for real, they have to be vigilant. That's their job, especially in that area where we caught him. It was right by Rockefeller Center where the tree is. You know, if somebody was acting suspicious, like a real bad guy, they should have been alert and been able to see him.
And there was a
you
crowd
know?
there. It was a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people, you know, because we're on Christmas holidays, and we have a lot of tourists and a lot of people taking pictures, and you know we have a lot of bad guys. So how are you gonna be sleeping? Anyways, you're getting paid. You know, you're getting just milking the people's money just to go and take a nap. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. They're milking can I say a big titty?
Of course, you can say whatever you want. This is the people's
They
pocket.
got a big titty in their mouth, and they all know they all got that same big titty, so they look out for each other. If they go after his pension, they could go after my pension one day. You know, they don't. That's what the.
And this is New York, man. This is supposed to be the most professional. What is it? CPR, right? CPR,
Yeah.
courtesy, professionalism, respect. The best blue gang in the world.
40,000.
40,000 deep. Imagine that. Imagine how much money we just paying them, and that's all out of our pocket. It's all out of the people's pocket.
And there's a lot of corruption, a lot of bad cops and stuff. But the worst cops I've seen in this country, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
They dirty out there?
Bro, where people from all over the world go to do dirty stuff, the cops have to cover that up. That's why there's the back line in every hotel for if a high roller gets in trouble. They cover it up.
Vegas?
Vegas.
I never been in Vegas.
Yeah,
You been out there?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah?
But go, if you remember anything I say, watch a documentary called What Happened in Vegas. Not What Happens in Vegas, or else you end up with the Ashton Kutcher movie.
Gotcha.
What
Yeah.
happened in Vegas. And it tells several stories of how LVMPD.
Yeah, because usually where there's areas where there's like a lot of crimes and a lot of things going on, and police they keep themselves busy. There's a lot of dirt there too, you know, because there's a lot of money there, drugs, money, females, everything. So those dirty cops that can't like withhold themselves, they can't, you know what I mean? They put their hands on some dirt over there, so it's easier for them. And do we have who's out there in Las Vegas?
Oh, so many people.
We have auditors out there?
Yeah. There's Las Vegas Cop Watch.
Okay.
And people roll through there all the time from California. They go
Gotcha,
and they do
yeah.
audits out there. But, you know, when Lake Mead, which is the water for out there, when that started getting low because of the drought that they had recently, bodies started showing up in barrels and stuff like that. And there were people recording the progress of how it's going. And then when they started recording that, they stopped all recording. Nobody's allowed to record over there anymore. Yeah.
When was that?
In Lake Mead.
Lake Mead. How long ago was that?
Like a year and a half ago or something like
Oh,
that.
so it wasn't too long ago.
Right. It was at like record low level. The water was like every day. The boat ramp was up on the dry land. You couldn't launch your boat
How come
anymore.
we never like heard of that over here in New York?
Because they're good about covering stuff up, man, you know?
What?
Yeah. But if you go on YouTube, you could see the videos of people who went out there, if they haven't been taken down already. But I was watching that as it was happening every day because I thought it was interesting how quick the water was draining. They were going through a drought, and that's all the water for Las Vegas. Imagínate.
So who, like, the people started seeing the bodies and stuff? Or,
Yeah,
or the
like fisherman channels and stuff that were recording them not being able to launch their boat anymore because of the thing. They started recording, oh, look, this sunken boat. It's out here. It was floating in the water the other day or under the water. Now it's sticking out of the ground. And, oh, what's that barrel? What's in that barrel? Oh, crap. Yeah. And the cops were like, everybody stop filming here. This is where we did our dirty work.
Yeah, imagine what type of policing they have over there, man. Mm-hmm. Imagine what type of policing they have over there. Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, New Orleans is bad. Chicago is bad.
Which one you think is like the worst state when it comes to corruption, proven corruption?
Probably California too, bro. But New York and California. I mean, didn't you guys have a serial killer architect out here from Long Island, and he killed like 20 people on the same beach? And the reason why it didn't go solved when it was happening is because the DA and a lot of the police out there were involved in other corruption.
So they was covering,
and they got caught, and they were dealing with their own thing. So this guy was just like, let me take the opportunity to slip and corrupt people.
That's something like I haven't heard of it. Would you mind like telling me a little bit about it?
Yeah.
And the people?
The Manhattan architect, I forgot what his name was, but the beach was near Long Island, and like 20 people he was a serial killer. They just caught him a few months ago. Yeah, all right.
So what was he, like a regular police?
No, he was an architect.
Oh, he was an architect.
Right. But I'm saying that the police didn't catch the serial killer where he killed like 20 people on the same little stretch of beach. They couldn't catch him because they were involved in their own corruption, that they didn't focus on who was doing all this stuff.
Wow,
and they ended up in jail.
Gotcha. So he used the opportunity to do his dirt, and they wasn't paying attention to him while he was committing all those crimes.
Yeah, I was going to look that up, and I saw my family got home. So
got you. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family.
Thank you, Mrs. Crispy. Happy anniversary.
Shout out to Miss Crispy. Shout out to Miss Crispy and the kids as well. You heard? Love and respect.
She on our anniversary, she said, of course, because the whole family listens to Eli's entire catalog, all his songs. We listen to that.
His daughter was singing.
Yep, they love.
How you feel?
That's their favorite one. How you feel? She
sings it better than I do.
But they were like, of course, you got to go see him.
So, have you been arrested?
Yeah, I got arrested 3 times in as many states in 2020. Yeah, February of 2020, I got arrested by a cop named Disney.
Disney?
And I'm suing Disney.
Yo, Disney, we coming, nigga. Yo, what he do? Tell me, what happened?
He told me to stand over there, and I said no. And he said,
where were you? You was in the streets, random?
We were outside of a Home Depot.
Okay.
And you know how the Home Depot has the awning where you load up?
Mm-hmm.
I stepped under there to not be out in the sun. Florida is hot, especially when you're wearing a black shirt. So I stepped in the shade, and he looked at me, and I just said, yeah, I'm not going to stand out in the sun. That's when his ego kicked in. He was like, well, you stand over there for officer safety. People walking by him 2-3 feet away.
He was with that officer safety bullshit.
Yeah, bro. I said, if you're scared, find another job, and I said, let me talk to your supervisor. He said, you're going to meet my supervisor, and put me in handcuffs and took me to jail for no reason and charged me with resisting an officer without violence. Like, I'm resisting because I don't want to stand where he wants me to stand.
Is that video up on your channel?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all welcome to go pull up to Rice Krispie and check it out. So they charge you with
Yeah, and it got dropped a month later, but I didn't drop it. I'm suing.
Resisting?
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a vague, broad charge that they have in Florida that they pull for anything. They got everybody I know who audits down there has had that charge on their record.
Yeah. I've had a couple of no. I haven't had a resisting. They never, cause I never give them the opportunity to do that shit. But don't you need like a charge? That's a secondary charge, isn't it?
That's what you would think, but in Florida, it's it's not a secondary charge.
They can use-
In most other states, it is.
Yeah, because resisting for what? Well, why you even? What's going on? Why are we talking?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of travesties of justice. A lot of people say, "Well, you got to take this to trial." Blah blah blah. We try, but you know what? A lot of bootlickers end up on that jury, and they convict you for nothing. You know.
That's a fact. Tell me about it. That I
Yeah.
just came home from doing 6 months because I had a whole line of jury of those.
And in jury selection, everybody who should have been on there and tell you, "Hey, not get there," like, "I don't want to be here." Do your duty.
Most of them
and
don't
if you
wanna-
see somebody that's a victimist crime when you're on jury duty, vote not guilty. Do your duty. Get paid the $5 an hour, whatever it is,
And that's it.
save somebody's life from being ruined by the system.
But one thing they did make sure was that they removed every single jury that had an issue with a cop.
Yeah.
If them or their family had any problems with any police officer, they was removed from that seat. That's when I used to get mad. I'm like, yo, but
yeah.
and they wanted. There was a couple of them who wanted to be part, but the judge didn't allow it.
And the opposite is they allow anybody who has a husband who's a lieutenant, or that they have a gym where they let all the cops work out for free in their gym.
Yeah.
You know, they let them on the jury, no problem.
Friends, families, area. Oh, okay, no,
And
you're welcome.
the defense attorney can strike them, but when you run out of strikes, you got to take what's left. And everybody is
Exactly.
we have a mentality where we're brainwashing people with every TV show about cops that they're the moral majority fighting against the corrupt masses, when the opposite is true. We're not the sick ones. The badge attracts a bad personality that wants to abuse it. That happens all over this country, all over the world. Bad guys become cops because they want to take advantage of that power.
Yeah, like, think of that, my peeps. Think of, like, bad people who don't have a record, just came out of college.
19-year-old sociopath, psychopath, gets
What's
the
the
badge
best way
because
to-
he's never been caught. So
What's the best way for you to get away with it?
Right.
Join. You know what I'm saying? That's the bad thing. That's how the bad apples just keep growing and growing and growing. You know?
It's not a training problem. It's a hiring problem. If you hire these people that, again, have never had the chance to be in trouble, but now that they have a badge, they get in trouble, you cover for them all the time.
Exactly.
You know?
And
How many DUIs do they cover for each other? That's the number one thing.
exactly, yeah. As soon as they go join the academy, or after they come out the academy, their friends, their partners, their bud, how they call it, buddy,
Yeah.
buddy battle, their buddies,
Battle buddies, yeah.
the battle buddies is dirty as hell. So you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to look bad in front of your battle buddy, you have to do some dirt.
Right.
You know, and in order for you to come up in ranks, you need a lot of arrests, you need a lot of tickets and all that. So once you come out that precinct, everybody's an enemy. Everybody's a suspect. Everybody's suspicious, and we got to come back with a lot of tickets, revenue.
Yeah, and a lot of people
quota.
on our side, they're like, oh, you got to take the charge, like I was saying. You got to take it to court or else you win it. It's not a half-hour sitcom. You know, it doesn't happen that quickly. I've seen videos where somebody gets arrested and they put out the video the next day, and people are like, what happened with the lawsuit?
Already, yes,
Like,
already.
you know,
It's a long, not even just the court process.
Let me tell you, my arrest, the first one in 2020 was February.
Let me sorry to interrupt you. Before you think about suing or none of that, you have to win the case first. You have to go through the court process, due process, and be found not guilty if they don't do you some dirt. You know what I'm saying? And after that, then there's another process when it comes for the lawsuit. It's not a one-day thing. Go ahead.
And we're not lawyers. This is not legal advice.
Exactly.
Disclaimer.
Don't take my advice as a legal advice. You hear me?
But you're absolutely right. You have to have your defense done before you could go and sue. Because if you get found any negative finding in your criminal case, will stop you from being able to sue. There's a case called Heck v. Humphrey. So you won't be able to sue in a civil case if your defense criminal case doesn't go your way. You know?
Exactly.
And you have to wait till it's done also. Or you could try to do it yourself and they'll throw it back.
Yeah,
but my trial for that arrest in 2020 is set for January of 2025. Yeah. 5 years later is when we're going to go to trial for that.
Imagine. And we're still not yet talking about lawsuits.
No. That is for the lawsuit.
Okay, for the trial for the lawsuit.
Right. The arrest, the charge was dropped a month later because they didn't have anything.
Okay, that was a quick one. Yeah,
Right.
that was a quick one because they don't usually take a month. Sometimes, they reschedule and reschedule.
The one in Georgia took like 2.5 years. And the one in Alabama, I got a bootlicker attorney who went quail hunting with a judge, and they dropped it.
Tell us about Georgia. What happened in Georgia?
Oh, bro, I went to during the pandemic, I went to a health department, and it was with Rogue Nation and James Madison Audits.
Yeah.
They kicked us out of there. I went to do a revisit again when I was with my family on a civil rights tour that we were doing through Alabama and everything. Mm-hmm. And we were on our way back, and I said, let me go to this place again. Well, somebody was feeling some type of way.
So what happened?
They didn't like seeing me again, so they put me in handcuffs for no reason. It was a reserve deputy who was just getting they double dip. Once they retire with a fat pension, they get a job to work in a place with that same uniform, and they get paid as a reserve deputy. So it's becoming a cop again.
So they could use the same badge?
Same badge.
After retiring?
And then he doesn't have a supervisor either that you have to call. Nobody corrects him.
No one is
can do
above
whatever
him?
No, not in Georgia. Not in Columbus, Georgia.
So he'll retire and then get hired again.
Right.
What?
Yeah, they do that all the time. And when he retires, that last year, they feed him all the overtime and everything because they pay your pension based on how much you made your top 3 years, right? Yeah. And that last year, they really pad it on. So these guys with the double dipping job and the millionaires after 2-3 years, they're millionaires.
Wow.
Yeah, bro, off of our money, and we keep digging deeper to pay them because we think, oh no, he's like Marky Mark. He's gonna stop the bad guys and save.
They're gonna keep us safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But majority of them, I don't think that's what they're doing, bro.
They're gonna keep you safe from a burglar. How much money do you think burglars take from people a year? How much money do you think these road pirates take from you every year?
Yeah, make that
Measure that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't even remember when was the last time that I heard somebody broke in a house or something. You know what I'm saying? It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen,
Right.
but
And the cops don't stop it.
exactly.
They show up afterwards.
But if you compare a guy breaking into your house, let's think about your own community, wherever you live at, or wherever you live at. You could use let's use 2 months, 60 days. Within those 60 days, how many people break into houses and how many tickets do you get?
Right.
Or how many tickets the whole community gets? It's like, which one is more? Like, which one is the one that's hurting the community more?
Oh, but we need that revenue for what? To pay for more cops. Remember when there was a SWAT team? Now everybody is SWAT now. Everybody's decked out like SWAT team.
Yeah, they got they're special teams now.
Yeah. Even in Florida, I mean, the dog catchers have, plate carriers and magazine carriers. Like they're going to Afghanistan.
For war. Ready to go to war. They're ready to go to war with who?
Right.
With who? With us.
And look, speaking of going to war, the troops that we send to other countries have rules of engagement. If they see an enemy in Afghanistan with an AK-47, unless that guy levels it at him and points it at him, he's not allowed to shoot that guy. Over here, rest in peace, Jay Surreal.
Yo, shout out to R.I.P. for my guy Jay, man.
And open government
shout
investigation.
Shout out to his brother, yeah.
Yeah, and Joey Surreal. Open government investigations within the car with Jay, and they saw a deputy speeding in Lee County where they don't have cameras, they don't have dash cams, no body cams, nothing. They don't want it. He followed him to go file a complaint. He's not speeding or anything, but that guy turned around and pulled a gun on him. He didn't know who they were, but he had a weapon ready to shoot one of his own citizens. So if you're, in the Marine Corps in Afghanistan, your rules of engagement are more strict than the cops have against their own citizens here. Our own people who are supposed to...
At war, it's more strict than over here.
Than here.
For they could take us out easily than over there.
Yeah.
Rules of engagement over here, they ain't got none.
And they have qualified immunity, which I stripped Disney of. Well, I didn't strip
But why I
it, the
keep
judge
hearing
did.
people, it's off, they don't have it, they lost it. What's going on?
Qualified immunity?
Do all the states?
No, it depends on the state. Like in Colorado, they
lost it.
They lost it, right? Not in Florida. In Florida, they have it and they use it a lot. You know how that started? I learned this on San Joaquin's channel back in 1967. Black guy was arrested for going to the wrong restaurant, even though he was now, well, it was his right to always, but they changed the laws for the Civil Rights Act. But down south, they didn't want to honor that. So they took him to jail. And the local court found him guilty. The appeals court found him guilty. So it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And they were like, we can't do this to him, but we can give the cops qualified immunity from now on if they ever do anything like this. Violating someone's rights under what they think is their lawful orders gives them qualified immunity, and the taxpayers pay for their mistake.
Wow, everything comes out of our pocket. They're fuck up, we pay for it.
Yep.
We're paying for everything, and we have to hold them accountable. But that's why we do what we do, my peeps. We have to hold them accountable. There needs to be eyes on them 24/7 because they're getting away with a lot, you know. And without us, it would be nuts. It'll go crazy without us, my peeps. So cameras. Record every cop, every incident, every government worker. Just, you know what I mean? Make sure that everything is transparent.
And do it right. Do it to where they can't get you for anything. Look, 60 protesters outside of Atlanta. There's a $90 million project that they're doing called Cop City, where they're making apartments and a dance club for the police to play in. We're paying for that. It's called Cop City. So 60 protesters went to protest, and they RICO acted all of them.
What?
They got them all with the RICO Act. Look it up. Cop City RICO Act protesters.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
So they're building a whole...
Yeah. How nice, right?
How
bars,
comfortable. Pools,
yeah. On
gyms.
Look it up. Cop City outside of Atlanta. And it's not the only place doing it. And I see that pattern. Because they're working towards changing this. It's already a police state.
And what about the homeless? And what about the roads?
Right.
And what about... There's a lot of things that we need to get on top of over here, my peeps. And why was all that money going for their comfort?
Right. $20 billion can end homelessness in the United States overnight. But we'll send $70 billion to Ukraine over 3 years. $100 billion to Israel in 1 month. But $20 billion could clear everything up here.
Yeah, and we weren't worried about overseas.
Yeah.
You know, and over here, everybody's over here starving, as you already know. We have people out there hungry. We have people out there who don't have a roof over their head. And we have a lot of even empty buildings, bro. It's like they're focusing on a lot of things, but not like things.
Empty buildings because we also don't teach our kids how to work in those buildings anymore. We just export the jobs. There's no education here anymore. And of course they're not going to teach you how to overthrow them.
Impossible. If you want to learn how to overthrow them, you have to pay how much in college? And you have to go to college for how long? It's all about, you know what I'm saying? Money. They won't teach you that for free. They don't do civics in school.
But
why
you could go to the
why
library.
they don't do civics in school, bro?
You go to the library and get those same books that people pay a lot of money in college for. Read those same books and teach yourself.
Exactly.
Be an autodidact.
Educate yourself.
Yes, be an autodidact. Learn how to go to coursera.org.
Coursera.org. You heard?
Yeah, you could go to Harvard, all that stuff. It's not accredited. You're not going to get a diploma, but you took the same class from the best teachers. Yeah, I learned about music history from I forgot, it was a Massachusetts music school, and I took a civil rights class, and I learned that from Erwin Chemerinsky, who is the dean of Berkeley now. But yeah, I learned all about the First Amendment, right?
Self-education, my peeps.
Yeah.
You don't need to, you know what I mean? You don't need to wait for that second or third person to come and educate. You can educate yourself. Do your own research, you know? Do your own research. And you could become a genius, a master, a teachers of teachers. You know? Because we have social media out there. We have internet. You have it in your phone. Every question that you have, you don't even have to ask the next person. You could just do your own research, look at different sources, and then, you know what I mean, educate yourself, come up with your own conclusion.
Yeah, don't just take the first source.
Exactly. You know? Look at different sources, you know what I mean, so you can have a better understanding of what's out there.
Exactly.
And then you can make your own conclusion. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Chopping it up with you, bro. Listen, bro, goddamn thank you for coming over here all the way from Miami. He's over here, my page, sharing it with us, and I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, it's come down And let me return the favor, man. We'll do a live stream on my channel.
I'll be there next
brother.
year. You hear me? My peoples, Rice Krispie, go pull up. Check out his channel. We have a couple of videos together that we did. And I'll hopefully see you guys soon. You heard?
Thank you, bro. Thanks to everybody who's watching now and in the future, too.
The People's Podcast.
The prosecution dirty, the lawyers is corrupt. Police getting away with it, then Eli interrupts. So why you think I'm getting loud with it? I grew up getting locked up, and I'm not gonna ride with it. I'm not allowing them to take my time no more. I'm not allowing them to give me fines no more. I'm not allowing them to talk to me. It's a manipulated society. Gonna make it out. The rich is getting richer. Are you gonna make it out? The poor is getting worse.